Hannah, I heard some things from my husband about your daughter there. Mai is going to be getting married. How's it going, Lisa? That's right. I was able to meet with her fiancé just last month and got to know about him a little more and about what he does for work. Don't you think that's a little strange that he'd be meeting you all first and you'd never say a thing to me? Why am I having to hear about all of this from my husband about your daughter getting married? Why would all of this be going through my husband first before I was ever aware of any of it? I'm sorry about that. I was thinking about having you meet her fiancé and telling you the news, but Maya's good friends with your husband. And when he came here last time, she might have told him the news in person. After all, she sees him at least once per month, and they like to go out to lunch and talk about life and everything that's been happening to them. And that's what I'd expect from your daughter. She'd rather talk to him more than her own grandma, just like you. Why do you all keep me out of the loop so often, after all the work I've done? I don't think that it's out of any spite towards you though, Lisa. It might just be that she happens to share a lot of interests with him. The both of them do really love to be around one another a lot, right? So it only makes sense that she tells him first. It's been a long time since you both last met, and Mai doesn't really text or anything like that much, so she wouldn't have thought to text you about it. But I've been the one that's given her the most attention compared to anyone else. When she needed help studying, I've been there to help teach her all sorts of things. You make a good point, and I'm thankful for all that you've helped her with. But in her case, she's a busy woman, and so she doesn't always think to tell everyone about things the moment they happen. She's getting around to sending the invitations for the wedding soon, so you would have found out eventually. Well, I guess me putting in all that effort was all for nothing in the end. I was so hopeful for her future because she's just as smart as my son. But then you guys let her go to a trade school instead of into university. I think that's a huge waste of money that you've just caused right there. And now she's going to lose all the potential she had. I'm sorry. But even after that, Mai has been doing great with the job she's found. So saying that we wasted all of that money, well, it's a bit rude, especially when you don't really go out to see the person she's become now. She's doing great, huh? She ended up giving up on her job in the fashion industry, right? And that's the reason she needs to get married now, right? I knew that would happen because nobody cares about hiring for the fashion industry anymore. No. She is still young and full of energy. And she's still working hard in her career of being a fashion designer. And I've heard from her that even after having kids, she still plans to work in the field so that she can enjoy what she loves doing. I think she's been into fashion all her life now, and has even studied a lot of it in her free time while she was still in middle and high school. So her giving up on it over money or anything like that doesn't seem like the kind of thing she'd be willing to do. Even though she's never going to have a chance to be rich now, right? These days, designing clothing is such a low-paying job. And most of the time, the people mass-producing the clothing in factories are making more than those that actually try to create some sort of new fashion line. Well, that all depends on what company she's a part of and what she's designing. She might just end up like my mother and be so good at fashion design that she even opens up a business of her own. If she manages something like that, then she can be her own boss and have a good chance of becoming rich. But remember, I think she'd be more into this line of work because she loves to design clothing. And so if the pay isn't that great, she's going to continue doing it. Look, back then designing clothing was a huge deal, and so your mom had the luck of opening a business. But these days, trying to do something like that will only drive her into debt. There's no way she can do what was done back then. The times have changed. But it is nice that your mother plans to leave a lot of money when she passes for all of us. And I'm thankful for that. Oh, don't tell me that Mai is doing all that work now like your mother because of the money she will leave behind. Maybe that's why she wants to become a fashion designer like her. That way your mom will take a bigger interest in her and fork her over a bit more money in the will. I don't think that's the reason Maya's going into the field. She's been into fashion longer than she's known about my mom's money, so... Who knows though, right? After all, she is the daughter of someone that never went to school. So she has to find easy ways to get money like you did. Now that I think about it, your mom really spoiled you back when you were growing up, right? Really, I feel so bad for mine that she's turned out more like you than my son. She could have gone to a wonderful university and studied in something that would have gotten her a well-paying job like her father. I think that Mai has a lot in common with her dad, though. I'm awful at things like fashion or arts, unlike he is. He's the kind of guy that's always been really good at designing and crafting things. And that's because my son is good at everything. And that's why he's working for a famous company now and making the money that you get to live off. Him being able to take care of you after all the mistakes you've made is due to me being a great mother for him. I suppose that could be so. Thank you for raising him. If you want to show your thanks towards me, then you should do a bit more than just say it. Take me on vacations with you guys, or give me presents every now and again. You should be doing a lot more for me, actually. Right now, my life is becoming a bit tight, as my husband's not making much anymore. Your mother has all that money, so maybe it's time you start to give us an allowance in advance before you get a lot more in her will. Or at least take me overseas somewhere nice for a change, so that I can really see how much you feel thankful for me. Is that what you want? But at the moment, we are a bit tight ourselves. Right, because Mai is going to be getting married soon, right? Right now, most young people don't have a lot of money, and so I'm sure her and her fiancé don't have much to spend on their wedding. That's too bad. You happen to raise a daughter that's going to cause you all sorts of trouble. I'm sure you already know this, but my son never took any of our money his whole life. He was never needy and asked for lots of toys. And when he went to university, he was on a full-ride scholarship, so we didn't have to do anything for him then either. And when you both had your wedding, your mom and him paid for it, right? You never spent a penny on it. I knew it. That the future of one's child all depends on how amazing the mother is. I think that Mai's fiancé is doing his best right now, and that him and her will make something work. Okay, I get it. I won't bother the two of you anymore. But I'll keep praying that some of that money from your mom comes for all of you as soon as it's distributed by her lawyer. Hannah, I just got that invitation from Mai regarding her wedding. What is up with this? Did something happen to it? I know that sometimes the mail service can be a bit rough with envelopes. So, if it's all bent or something, let me know and I'll have her send you guys a new one. I'm questioning the place that she'll be having her wedding at. That place is insanely pricey because of how famous it is. I've seen all sorts of documentaries about it on the TV, and I know that it takes 1-2 years in advance to get reservations there, right? Now that you mention it, she did tell me about how nice the wedding hall will be. But she told me that every so often someone will cancel and the date will open up. She was super lucky, wasn't she?
Do you know how much it'll cost to afford a place like that?
I haven't really talked with her yet about the cost of having a wedding there.
I know for a fact that it'll at least be $30,000 just to have the reservation for the place. Then you have to think about the cost of the decor there that they'll want. And I'm sure the food will cost even more than the rest of the wedding combined. By then, you're looking at over $80,000 on that wedding.
Is that so? You know a whole lot about that place, huh, Lisa?
What is with that remark? Do you think that a price like that isn't extremely high? I get that you've had everything handed to you all your life, but some of us actually understand money and that it doesn't grow on trees.
Well, whether it is or isn't, this is a once-in-a-lifetime thing for most people. So I think it's perfectly fine to let them have their special day where they'd like to have it, and spend as much as they're willing to.
That's far too much money for two kids that don't have much. Are you and my son really going to be able to afford a place like that? And I heard that her dress is going to be crafted by a very well-known dressmaker. You all are acting crazy right now.
Well, she was able to find that place by being a fashion designer herself. So, of course, she'd like to have someone she knows she can trust to be the ones making her dress.
It's because of you having your head in the clouds that your daughter has chosen a place that expensive. I'm telling you right now that the wedding she's having is too much. You guys should be trying to help her by having a more realistic wedding, right? And if you have the ability to afford all of this with my son's earnings, then you have enough money to give me and my husband a monthly allowance.
This and that are two very different things.
There's nothing different between them. If you have all of that money right now, then you should be giving it to me.
Are you really having that much of a financial struggle? The last time I met with you, you told me how much high-brand accessories you had bought from the mall.
I bought all of them because they had gone on sale. With whatever I had in my savings, I was only able to get 2 necklaces and a coat. And my husband has told me that we can't go on vacation this year. Do you not feel bad for me?
If you have that kind of money to buy all those branded things, even if on sale, then I don't really think I need to feel bad for you.
Hannah, don't tell me you like to watch as the elderly struggle to stay happy and alive. Especially when I'm your own mother-in-law. You're asking me to live the rest of my life like I'm living in poverty.
No, that's not at all what I want to see. I'm just saying that if you're able to buy things that are really expensive and have to give up a vacation for that, that seems pretty reasonable to me.
I don't have a reason to have to give up a vacation just because I wanted these things, right? I cannot believe the way you're thinking of me right now. If you're willing to waste all of that money on someone that has no future with their fiancé, then you should be able to support my husband and I financially. All right? I'm asking you to give me some money right now. And you tell my son all of this as well for me.
Lisa, what have you gone and done? Why did you think it was okay to do something so vile leading up to my daughter's wedding?
What? I don't know what you're talking about.
Stop trying to play dumb with me. I'm talking about what you did to my daughter's dress.
What happened to Mai's wedding dress?
I just got a call from one of the employees at the wedding hall. She told me that the dress she'd been preparing for Mai was all torn up and ruined.
Oh? Oh no, that's not good at all. Well, now that her beautiful, handmade dress has been ruined, she'll have to cancel her wedding tomorrow, right? That dress was supposed to be the spotlight of the wedding, right?
This was all because of you, right? You're the one that came and tore it up.
And what are you saying right now to your own mother-in-law? Who is being the vile one right now?
I have evidence that you did it. There are security cameras in place all around the wedding hall. There is video of you coming into the hall through the back emergency exit.
Are you sure that's not someone else that happens to look a little like me? They say there are at least 3 people in the world that end up looking similar to one another.
Is that so, Lisa? Well, if I have to call the police to come and look, I'm sure we can figure everything out. I should have them look into this now, right?
You're going too far asking the police to come for something like that.
Then you need to comply with me. I don't want things going too crazy during one of the most important weeks for Mai.
Alright, look. I just wanted to come in and make her dress look even more amazing than it already was for her. It's an older style of wedding dress that I've made for her.
That wasn't your intention, Lisa. This is all because you were upset that my husband and I said no to giving you any money when you asked us, right?
What? So that's what you figured?
And now you've harmed Mai when she had nothing to do with it. She is your son's daughter, your granddaughter.
Well, your daughter having a dress that beautiful is too much. And having the wedding at a place like that is just outright stupid. You need to learn where to draw the line. But it's because you didn't stop her from choosing a place like that and getting that dress this has happened.
You're done for, Lisa. The one that made that dress for Mai was my mother.
Uh-huh. She made that for her? That has to be a lie, right?
I'm not lying. Her and my mom worked together to make up a design for it. And then my mom went ahead and made that all by herself. And now, none of us are going to forgive you for what you've done. And of course, your son and me feel that same way.
And what is your mother even going to be able to do about this? She's in her 80s now and on her way out, right? Her being upset with me isn't going to scare me.
You haven't spoken or met with her in a very long time now, so you have no idea what's been going on with her. She may not come out of the house much anymore, but that doesn't mean that she's been on her deathbed. And I think she has the power to make you understand that.
No matter what a grandma like her could try and do, I'm not going to lose to her. Tell her to not get too worked up over this or she might end up injuring herself, okay?
All right then. Don't forget about anything that's been said today, okay? Also, do not bother coming to the wedding tomorrow. If you do manage to still come, you will be kicked out.
Uh-huh, but the wedding tomorrow should be getting canceled now, right? What is Mai going to do for a dress now?
She had some other dresses she'd been working on. And so right now, all of them are working together to finish up a new dress for her to wear tomorrow. They're all pros after all, so they'll make it happen.
Oh no, making her grandma do all that work for her is going to be detrimental to her health, right? I think this might be the last dress your mother ever works on. And as for the wedding, I never planned on coming in the first place, so don't worry about me. I never wanted to celebrate her marriage at all. Hannah, I have something to ask of you. Can I have you come between me and your mother?
Lisa, do you really think that I'm going to come and help you? You went and destroyed my daughter's dress that was made by her grandma for her.
And right now, I've really started to regret all of that. And later, I'd like to go to Mai and tell her I'm sorry about that.
And you think you should be apologizing to Mai before you apologize to my mom?
Ah, that's right. I'm sorry. I'll be apologizing to the both of them after I took things a little overboard.
Are you saying that you want to apologize only because your husband is asking to divorce you?
So you know about all of that now?
I do. Right after the wedding was over, your husband came up to us, and we all talked about what he was going to do about you.
I'm sorry, but I don't think that my loving husband would ever really want to divorce me over something as meaningless as this. This is all happening because of your mom, right?
No, this is what he wants. My mom only asks that he do so as soon as possible, because she expects that you might go out of control if he doesn't get rid of you in the next couple of weeks.
So she was pretty much making him think about divorcing me.
Nope. This whole time your husband has been worried about how much money you use. My mom was able to open a business of her own and has a lot of money at her disposal. But in your husband's case, he's just a normal employee, and so he doesn't have the kind of money my mom has. Yet, you continued to think that one day my mom would pass, and that the money would come from her and I'd be willing to give some of it to you. And that's why you've been overspending.
Well, that's because back in the day your mother spoiled you so much with her money. And so I thought that when she passed, you'd be the same way and spoil me with that money.
My mom has only been spoiling me with money so that I could use it to make sure that Mai was raised in a great home. But in your case, you don't know how to spend your money that you get from your husband, and just spend it all on clothing and accessories. And after your husband learned that you wouldn't stop buying unnecessary things, he stopped giving you money.
Shut the hell up! People that have a lot of money should be okay with giving others their money to spend. And I'm all of your family.
And it's because you are family that we shouldn't have to give you money that you'll just end up wasting. And from what I've heard as well, you barely even do any chores in your house and just go out to play with all your time. So, do you really think my husband and I want to give you any money now?
I'm not just using all the money on myself, though. I made sure back in the day to give the money my husband gave me to my son so that he could go to a good school.
And that was all to get him into a famous university so that one day you could use him as something to brag about to all your friends, right? That's how your son has always thought of the relation he had with you.
And I was also there to pay for Mai to get lessons in piano and ballet, right? I even introduced her to some very amazing teachers.
Mai was never into piano or ballet though, Lisa. All you did was waste your money forcing her to go to something she didn't care about. And as for those amazing teachers you found for her, they barely knew how to teach her the way she learned, so that was another waste.
I thought that I was helping by doing all of that for her.
My husband and I told you to stop plenty of times though, right? Yet you never once listened to either of us.
Hey, do you really think it's okay for my husband to want a divorce now? I have been trying my best to be a good wife and mother.
Well, it seems he's had enough of your selfishness. And you pushed him to his limit when you chose to destroy his granddaughter's dress. So I think him throwing you away is the right thing to do now.
Hannah, I will change my ways from now on. I'll even make sure that any money I get from you guys now goes into my savings and is used on only necessary things. And I'll no longer say rude things to you. And I'll think about Mai more and apologize to her for what I've done. So, can we find some way to allow me one last chance to change my ways? I don't even need your mom to forgive me, just as long as I have the chance to show her that I can be better.
The reason you don't want your husband to leave you isn't because of love or anything like that. You just want to stay a part of the family so that you can have some of whatever money my mom leaves when she passes, right? I've made sure to tell everyone that you've been eyeing her money. So stop thinking that we're going to give you any more chances to be a part of this family.
I'm so sorry. Please, I'll do anything you ask of me, so help. If I'm divorced at this point in my life, I'll never be able to make it on my own.
Well, this is what has happened after the path you choose to take. And the rest of the family has no more hope of you being a decent human being in our family. So go ahead and finish the rest of your life somewhere where you'll never get in the way of us again. From there, Lisa and her husband had a divorce, and her husband left the house that they had both been living in. The house was the one part of her divorce that her husband was willing to give her. And even though she kept asking for some of his money, his lawyer said that the house was worth more than what she deserved. She may have thought that after so many years of being married to him, she would at least get a large amount of money in a divorce. But because of the dress that she had ruined, which would be considered vandalism, the lawyer said it was being charged with that or get nothing else from her husband. She ended up selling their house after the divorce and made quite a bit for it in today's housing market. But it still wouldn't be enough to help her have a happy life with however many years she has left. So if she can't find a way to get a job or someone willing to marry her at the age she's at, she won't be around for much longer before being on the streets. Also, after the divorce, Lisa's husband, my mom, and the rest of us all blocked her number and cut ties from her. But every so often, we hear from her friends or others that we know as well as her that she will ask them for help. But unfortunately for her, there isn't one person willing to help her with money after the story they've all heard. I'm not sure what'll happen to Lisa going into the future, but what we do know is that she'll never be allowed to talk to any of us ever again. I'm not sure how much us not helping her or even talking to her has ruined her life, but it's what she gets for acting the way she did around us. As for my father-in-law, we had been talking with him, asking if he'd like to move in with us since our daughter would now be living with her husband. But just before we had settled to have him move in, my mom said that she'd provide a house for him to move into. Although not as big as the last house he had. My mom jokes a little about how she didn't want him ruining our privacy after we'd finally gotten rid of our daughter. But really, it was so kind of her to do something like that for him. And I still cannot believe that my daughter and all her coworkers and my mom were able to manage getting her a new dress in time for her wedding. Even though Lisa almost ruined what was my daughter's beautiful day, it was great to see she didn't ruin it and that Mai was able to still smile on her wedding day. As for the real reason that I had never given any money to Lisa when she was still around us, it's to do with my mom and my husband always telling me to never give her anything. And I never got to tell Lisa this, but we never paid for her wedding either. Rather, it was all paid for by Mai and her husband. But had Lisa known that Mai and her husband had the money to pay for all of that, she may have tried to start begging them and harassing them for their money. And so, I'm so happy that I never let that information slip to her. Or else things might have turned out a bit worse for us all. I think that right now a lot of younger people are having a hard time with money and handling the world they're entering into. And so if my daughter did ask for our help paying for the wedding, I wouldn't have even thought to say no to her. And just to make sure that if she ever does need some help from us, that we have money saved up just in case. I don't think it's a bad thing at all to get financial help from your parents or family every once in a while. But to abuse it like Lisa tried to do will only put you into hell. Mason, are you going to be coming home late from work again today?
Yes, I have a meeting to go to for work safety. So go ahead and eat dinner before me.
All right. Hey, I got yet another message from your mom today.
Is she going on about you having kids?
Yeah, asking when she'd get to see some grandkids. I had brought this up to you before, but can you make sure to let her know not to bother me so much about that? Having her try and talk to me about it again and again is getting a bit tiresome for me. It's like she's on my shoulder nagging about something that's near impossible for me. But she never wants to accept my answers.
My mom is really rude, isn't she? You're already 39 years old now, so she should know that it's too late for you to have kids now and just needs to give up.
I haven't given up on having kids yet, though. We both know that there's been a lot going on with me, and it's been an uphill battle this whole time.
Wait. You only have a little while longer until you're 40. If you haven't been able to have any babies yet, it's pretty much over for you.
Even if that's true, I still want to try for a bit longer.
Saying you want to try for a bit longer is a waste. There was no point in you going through all those treatments for your infertility, right? You're better off just giving up on all that and using the time you have left going out and focusing on you.
It was just that the timing and the things like that were off with the treatments I received. I still am working on battling my infertility, and so the next time I get the go-ahead, I'll need you there to help me.
Huh? You need me during your next chance? I don't want to, though.
If you can just try with me one last time, we can see if things work out. If not, then I'll give up on all of this myself. Please. I really feel that this year, if I try hard enough, I'll have a really good chance of becoming pregnant.
Are you just trying that hard because of everything my mom's been saying to you?
I mean, that is a part of it, but a small part. But there are much bigger reasons too. I want to have a kid with you, Mason. Do you not want any kids?
It's not that I don't want any kids of my own, but they aren't gonna make it or break it in our relationship. So not having any doesn't really bother me much. I feel that it just being you and I forever could be a great life as well. Are you getting tired of it just being you and me, and that's why you're pushing so hard to have a baby?
That's not how I feel about us. I just feel that by having a kid or two, things between us could be even more joyful. And another thing is that I feel us giving up right now might leave us with lots of regrets later. I know all sorts of people that really regret not trying, but they're already too old to do anything about it. And I don't want us to be in that same situation. I understand there's nothing that can be done if I can't become pregnant. But if there's even a small chance that I can become pregnant, I want to continue trying.
All right, Alex. Then this will be our last year of trying. If we can't make it happen by the end of the year, we're done trying. Having to go through all this infertility treatment with you, it's tiring for us men and a bit of a hassle.
I know. Thank you for understanding me, though. I'll let the hospital know that the next time I'm in, you'll be coming along as well.
But I have things going on myself. Don't expect that on my days off I'll have time to come with you to see the doctor and such.
Okay. If we can get in this month, when would work for you?
Huh? This month? Don't you feel we're jumping the gun here?
If I only have a year left, I'd like to get things started with the treatments right now. Because they all usually take a few months, and if I manage to become pregnant, that'll be another 9 months of having to carry the baby. Time is only passing by at this point, and we're losing valuable days.
I don't think I can make this month work. I have all sorts of plans on my schedule. And I've already offered to cover another coworker's time off for him, so I can't pull out of that now.
Then, can you tell me later what days are still open for you next month? Then I'll be able to make an appointment on time and not have to worry about there being no openings.
I don't have any information on next month's schedule just yet.
Well, even if you don't have a concrete schedule, can you give me some dates that might work? It's not that we have to go on that exact date, but it'd be a good idea to at least put a date in and have a spot reserved.
Huh? I'll tell you soon. But there is a chance that I might not be able to make it work on that date, so don't get upset with me.
Alright, I promise I won't. Thank you, Mason. I know that this is a lot of work for you, but together we can make all of this happen. Mason, listen! I was able to become pregnant!
Huh? Seriously?
Yes, finally! It has taken us so long to get to this point, right? Thank you so much for being there with me through all of this. But don't tell your mom just yet until we have an expectancy date.
Hey, Alex? Do you plan to still give birth to that baby?
Yeah? Why would you ask me such a trivial question?
I'm sorry. I didn't really think that you'd be able to become pregnant. So right now I'm very shocked.
By this point in my life, a lot of people would have given up, right? But after all our hard work, we've been able to have a miracle. So I'm going to see my pregnancy through and have this baby. I'm so very happy for all of this.
Are you sure that's okay? Having a baby at your age, you had to have a lot of strength to give birth to that baby, and I'm not sure you'll last.
I know that it'll all take a lot out of me, but I'm ready to fight for my baby. I know that right now I'm on the tail end of being the age to have babies, but to make sure that I can have the baby, I'm going to start going to the gym and building up some muscle and training my heart.
By the time that baby turns 20, you and I are going to be retired.
That's right. So we have to make sure that we both start working out more so that we can stay active and healthy longer.
No, that's not what I was talking about. I'm just wondering, with the way things are between us, is it okay to have that baby?
What do you mean by that?
Well, everyone around us is all young and having their kids. 40-year-old woman having a baby is almost unheard of.
But I feel that it's a lot less rare for that to happen before.
I just wonder if this will be rough on our child. Having your own parents become elderly while you're still young.
How about we just don't think about that and work hard to enjoy a happy life together?
This isn't some kind of drama. And as for you and I, we have to think about more than just our family. Right now, I'm sure you don't want to think about it, but soon you might have to.
You don't have to talk about that as though it'd be wrong for us. Aren't you happy to see that I'm pregnant now?
To be real with you, I'm just thinking it's better for us that you don't have that baby.
Uh-huh. Why, though? Why would you think something like that now?
I said it just a second ago, but I didn't expect that you'd actually get pregnant. I just assumed that the treatments wouldn't work and that you'd end up quitting on all of it. That's why I tried a little more to help you along.
What the heck? So that's how you felt while helping me?
I'm sorry. I just thought that by helping you through that last part, you'd feel better about giving up. And I'm totally fine with our family being just the two of us.
I'm going to have this baby, Mason.
Please think about it a bit more. Do you really think that by having that baby now, it'll be able to live a happy life?
But this is the baby that we've worked so hard to have. So I can't just let it go now after the miracle I've been given.
I'm sorry for talking about this while you're so happy to be pregnant. But in the end, I think I'm against you having that baby.
Don't say things like that, please.
Well, we're back home. How about you and I discuss this one more time?
All right. But know that I'm having this baby whether you like it or not. I'm not going to be swayed from my choice. Mason, the whole reason you've been against me having this baby is because you have been having an affair, right?
Huh? What are you going on about now? I think you're just freaking out a bit too much now that you've been told not to have that baby. Stop trying to make things up now to make yourself look like a victim.
This isn't me making up anything, Mason. I had someone look into you a bit deeper after we first discussed the baby. And they came back to me letting me know that for a year now you've been cheating on me.
Really? What, do you have proof of this?
You don't want to admit it, do you?
Well, it's your fault for not being able to have a baby for me sooner. My mom has been on me for years now asking me to show her a grandchild.
And that's your reason for cheating?
Well, younger and more healthy women than you have much higher chances of bearing a baby for me. And at this point, if I'm gonna get married again, I want it to be with a younger woman.
Then why did you work with me through all of those treatments?
I told you before, right? I assumed that you'd never actually be able to get pregnant. I thought that by being there to help you, you'd eventually give up on all that. And then when you told me you'd given up, I could use that as my excuse for divorcing you. That's why I helped you. Well, unfortunately, things have become a whole lot more complicated now.
Unfortunately? Don't say things like that about me becoming pregnant.
But I didn't think things would work out with you. You're only just now getting pregnant. You're almost 40 years old. I'd at least enjoy hearing a thank you from you or for giving up a lot of my salary caring for you after we married when you never had a job of your own.
You're the worst, Mason.
Say whatever you like. But with that, don't have that baby. If you do still decide to have it, I'm not gonna be its father. And actually, before you do have that baby, I'm going to divorce you.
I became pregnant with this baby while we've been married, so you'll still legally have to be its father. And I already told you that the baby is coming.
Well, even if that's the case, I'm not going to do anything for you two. It's your fault for still having the baby when I'm telling you that I won't be its father. And to be very real, you're far too old to be having a baby, so it'll probably die for some sort of birth defect, right? Is that what you want happening?
No matter what kind of baby it is, I'm giving birth to it.
Is that correct? Well, if you do still have it and it's able to survive, I'm still not going to be paying child support for it. If you don't promise to let me leave and not pay anything to you guys, I'm going to beat the crap out of you when you get home.
Are you kidding me?
Not at all. Just when I was getting ready to divorce you, you had to become pregnant and start looking into me. At this point, I wish I'd never even married you in the first place. Maybe you've only been with me because you want my money.
Shut up. I don't even want you to pay child support for a kid you don't care about. Once we've divorced, I'm getting out of this house right away. But be aware that after that, you are to never come around me or my kid ever again.
And that is totally fine with me. I'm sure your age having to raise a baby as a single mother is gonna be hell. Don't come asking me for any help. I'm gonna be marrying a young and beautiful woman soon. And I think she'll be able to have a baby for the two of us very easily compared to you. I hope you can have your baby as well, though. Although you might find it a bit too stressful at your age having to care for it all day and night. Alex, it's been a while. Actually, can you tell me where you've gone off to? I just ran into you a second ago, but you instantly ran off. This is my new phone number, so make sure to save it under my contact. And if you're just gonna ignore me, I might as well just delete your contact info as well.
Stop trying to mess with me.
I'm not trying to mess with you. If you feel that I am, then maybe we should talk a little.
You ended up changing your phone number.
I did change it, but I made sure to keep all your contact info on me. And thank goodness that I didn't end up throwing your info away. I was just starting to get a little worried that I forgot your phone number and all.
So, what do you still want with me? You are just a stranger to me now, so I don't have time for games.
I'm your ex-husband, so stop trying to give me the cold shoulder. And also, I was surprised. You have turned into a fine-looking piece of woman. Compared to the woman you were when we divorced, you are like a goddess.
Oh, is that so?
What does that reply? You may have turned into a fine woman, but your character's only gone downhill now.
I'm not in the mood to talk with you anymore, so can we call it here? We promised back then to never talk to one another again, right? So I'll be going.
Hey, wait. That kid that you have right now is pretty famous, right? Is that the kid you gave birth to back then? And are you the manager right now since you're their mother?
I wouldn't be able to lie to you now because you'd figure it out eventually. That is, in fact, my daughter.
No way! So that really is the kid from back then. I suppose that would make sense considering the age she looks. Go and tell her all about me, being her father.
What? I never gave birth to your kid.
Huh? That baby you became pregnant with before we divorced. Did you end up not having it?
I did have that baby. But what I'm saying is that after the divorce, I no longer viewed you as the baby's dad.
What the heck? I was a bit afraid for a second there. I knew that girl you had with you looked a bit like me.
Well, even if you think so, she's got nothing to do with you. We promised to never be around one another ever again, right? So stop with all of this conversation, please.
Well, look, since you and I divorced, I've had a lot of time to think about it. Thinking about why such a bad thing happened between us.
Is that so?
And after you left, I got married to that younger woman. But she turned out to be a complete waste of my time. Just before we were gonna get married, she told me she had married another man.
Well, that's what you get after cheating on me, right?
And ever since she left me, I've been living all by my lonesome. And every day, my mom was still going at me for not bringing her a grandchild yet. And when I asked her to introduce me to some woman that I could have a baby with, all she brought for me were these ugly-looking hags. And so, for the past 9 years, I've been on my own.
Oh?
And I'm sure things have been tough for you, right? Being a single mom having to raise that girl? You've had to work a ton while also caring for that kid all along. Leaving you with no downtime, right? But maybe you've been doing fine since you have a child star as a kid.
I haven't changed one bit, and I'm still working a full-time job. And I'm making sure to not make my daughter do any more work than she's happy to do.
Well, even if the two of you are doing okay in that aspect, you're still having to work too much, right? At this point in time, you and I are now 50 years old. So I'm sure that having to raise and care for her all on your own has been backbreaking. Hey, Alex, do you think that you and I could try getting back together? After all, your daughter's father is single again, so you can have me back there helping to take care of her. So from now on, let's you and I get back together and make a happy family of 3.
Well, Mason, I'm sorry to have to break it to you while you're having such a fun time explaining all of that to me. But I'm married now.
Uh?
I have been doing a great job raising my daughter, and she has her father here as well helping her out. So I'm not in any sort of trouble like you think. I'm having the best time of my life every day with my family.
You got married? With who? He has to be pretty screwed in the head for wanting to get married to an old woman who already has a kid. I know that he's only with you for the money and for that little girl of yours.
You're the only man I see going after my money. My husband is making at least 10 times the amount of money I am, so you don't have to worry about him. And he's being an amazing father to my daughter as though she were his own blood.
But I would love you and your daughter a whole lot more than he could.
You think so? Even though after 10 years of never contacting me about either of us? And when you haven't even been paying child support for her? If you actually had any love for her or me, then you would have been doing something with that love. All you're doing right now is being a pain in the butt by thinking that you have the right to be her father.
But whether you like it or not, I'm her real father, right?
You and I both made an agreement that we'd never talk to one another again after the divorce, right? So, because of that, we don't think of you as her father.
Does that have to do with anything now? Let me see my daughter! If you don't let me see her, I'm gonna go on social media and start ruining both of your guys' images!
The only person that'll regret doing something like that is you. And if you still feel like you want to go online and start spreading lies about us, I'll have to take you to court over defamation.
But that girl is my daughter, and I have a right to see her!
Who cares? You were the one that cheated on and divorced me. And my husband right now cares enough about my daughter that he views himself as the real father.
But just let me see her! I'm her real father by blood, so you cannot say no to me! I bet you're afraid of her saying that she wants me to live with her!
After all that you've put her and I through, you will not be allowed to see her. You didn't even bother to pay for her care, so you're nothing more than a stranger to us. But if you really still feel as though I'm being unfair here, then go get yourself a lawyer and take me to court over it. I'll allow you the enjoyment of seeing how little you can do against the law.
Come on, Alex! Let's you and I just meet up and talk this through.
What do you want to talk about? The moment you and I ended our marriage, you become a complete stranger. What do I have to say to you to get you to understand that?
I am actually really regretting ever letting you go.
And so what? I have a new husband now, and the only reason that you've come to me now after all those years is because you're having financial issues, right?
Huh? What are you talking about? That's not the reason I'm talking to you now!
I've heard all about you from others in town. After things between you and that woman soured, you began to go out with other women from strip clubs and such. But to keep those whores around with you after losing your younger woman, you went into debt paying all of them.
Who told you all that?
Why does it matter who told me? I have heard all about you and the situation you've made for yourself. But that whole time you never knew a thing about what's been going on with me. And that's perfect because I've heard that all your friends that you've had and others that trusted you began to leave after you started asking them for help.
But you should be the #1 person that understands my situation now, right? When you needed help as badly as I do now, I came to your side and helped you make that girl.
And you were the one that left me when I was at my most vulnerable and needed you. Why are you trying to make it seem like you saved me back then? The only person I see as being there to help me was my husband. And even now, he's so kind and affectionate that he's willing to understand why I was so destroyed back then. Even my daughter calls him the #1 dad, and we have made a beautiful family.
Well, if you're so happy, at least give me some money.
Money? You're the one that should be giving me money. You're in that much trouble now that you're just going to ask me for money like that?
This is about the money we should have split the divorce. Now give me what I deserve. After thinking about how the divorce set it up, I feel I didn't get a fair amount. But I let you take all that money because you had to raise that baby on your own. Now that you have a husband that has a ton of money, you can pay me what I wanted back then.
You really are the most hilarious idiot I've ever met. In the terms of our divorce, the properties we split wouldn't be acknowledged until 2 years after the divorce.
Huh? Is that so?
Even after 10 whole years, you haven't become any less useless than you were before. You really are the biggest disgrace.
Alex, I really want to make things right between us.
And I've thought that with all my heart that you divorcing me was the best thing ever. You laughed at me back then because I'd become a single mother, right? Yet, right now, the one who's suffering the most is who? At the age you're at, asking a woman to get back together with you because you're in so much debt is disgusting. Never ever talk to me again. Immediately after that, I went and blocked Mason's number on my phone. And with the thought of him trying to take some kind of action against me, I spoke with my husband and we made a few plans up. With the money he has, we were able to get a lawyer that we worked with to make sure that what might come next could be handled with no damages to us. But even after a few months have passed by, there has been nothing from Mason that made us worry. I never ran into him again outside the house, and so I'm starting to think he just left town. Or has become a NEET within his own home. I feel as though what really happened with Mason back then is that his younger woman may have heard about what's happened to us, and that's what drove her to find another man quickly. I'm sure that now that it's been 10 years for him without any luck, there's no chance of him getting married again. I've heard that he's now back home living with his mom. And to pay back all of the debt he's in, he has to live with her while slowly making all that money back. And as for his pushy mom, she's now bothering him even more about the grandchild that'll never come, as well as about all the debt he's in. But I'll be honest, for a man in his 50s, I don't think he'll ever be financially free ever again. And if he is close to breaking free from his debts, I'm sure another thing will come along to put him right back into that hole. As for me, I'm on the opposite side of the spectrum from him, living a wonderful life with my cute daughter and loving husband. My daughter has a lot of work that she needs to get done as part of being a star, which means my life is also very busy. But I think she's going to be taking a break for a little while after this year. Once this year is over and she graduates elementary school, my husband will be retiring from his job and we'll all be moving overseas. I'll also end my job there and be a housewife taking care of her husband and daughter while relaxing. My daughter said that she might take a break for the rest of her schooling, and so we'll make sure that while she's studying, she continues to train in the performing arts in case one day she does want to get back into being a star. Although our lives are very busy and full of plans now, I find it much better than what the future could have been like with Mason as my husband. I'll make sure to keep my family happy and healthy for the rest of my life, and to never forget that all this was made possible due to my ex's selfishness. I really look forward to what comes next for my family. Hi, Jesse. Do you have a few minutes for your mom? Guess what happened? I'm so upset.
Upset? What's wrong, Mom? Has something happened? Wait. Don't tell me this is about Brianna again.
Well, it is. How did you know? I haven't even said anything.
It's not a hard guess. You've been complaining about her so much lately, especially the past few months. It's the only thing you talk about.
Don't be so sarcastic, young lady. I've had other things to talk about besides her.
Not that I can recall. So what is it this time?
It happened last night at the dinner table. You know I hate pumpkins, right? I think it tastes horrible, so I really don't like them. I have told her about it ever since she married Carl. There is no way she didn't know about it. But guess what she served us for dinner last night?
Seriously, Mom? You are going to complain to me about her serving you pumpkin?
She gave me pumpkin soup. Of all things, pumpkin soup. I was mortified. You would be mad if I served you something you didn't like, wouldn't you? And it tasted horrible. She's a terrible cook.
Of course I would not be mad. I would never be so ungrateful. I might politely turn it down, explaining why I prefer not to have it, at most. Generally, I would shut the hell up and just eat it anyway. She could have just forgotten that you didn't like it. I don't think Brianna is the type of person who would do that on purpose. Give her a break, Mom. At least she puts the effort in cooking for her family. You shouldn't be so hard on her. I've been wanting to tell you this, but you are being mean.
Mean? You think I have been mean to her? I don't think you understand, Jessie. She married my son. My eldest baby who will take on the family name. She needs to be disciplined so that she will not disgrace her husband's name. So, of course, I will be hard on her.
Jesus, Mother, we don't live in the Middle Ages, and we are an average-class family. Why are you acting like a royal? We don't have any kind of family heritage or a legacy to hand down anyway. Not that it should impact the way you treat your daughter-in-law. You should really update your ideologies.
Of course we have a heritage. The house and the property will be passed down to him. It has been handed down for generations.
Yeah, but the property still belongs to Grandma, who is very much alive at the moment.
When she passes, the estate will be in his and he will live here.
Okay, sure. But it's just a relatively large house. We don't own a castle or anything. I don't think she needs to be disciplined to live in a house. You should appreciate all the things she does for you, despite you being so picky about everything. You know, I would never want to live with my in-laws, but she never made a fuss about living with you. I think Brianna is an excellent daughter-in-law. You should be thankful for her.
Ugh, Jessie, you don't get it. You just don't see how hard it is to live with her. I don't want to say this, but she is really clumsy. And she talks back like a teenager. Her attitude towards me is so horrible. She has zero respect for me.
I have a hard time believing that. I see her often enough, but I have never felt that she had an attitude. She is always very polite and respectful.
See, that's what I mean. She has tricked you into believing she is nice. She loves it when people see her as the sweet, polite girl. But she is just pretending. When she is home, she is very different. Nothing like the Brianna you know.
That doesn't even make sense. Why would she act polite to her sister-in-law but not to her mother-in-law? It won't do her any good. I could maybe understand if it was the other way around.
How would I know? The bottom line is, she is not who you think she is. She's a very rude and unappreciative person.
I don't know, Mom. She always remembers my birthday and sends me gifts. She does the same when I can't make it back for Thanksgiving or Christmas or any kind of occasion. I am always grateful that she remembers me. I'm saying she is just acting like a good girl around you. She's so clumsy and always breaking things in the house. But she doesn't even apologize for it. She doesn't even care if she ruins something that is precious to someone else. You see, she is quite rude. Even that sweet Carl is having a hard time with her. That doesn't sound like the Brianna I know. But I am not around enough to know. I guess you would know better since you live under the same roof. Maybe I am missing something. But hey, I am sure she is a great mother to Emma. Why? What makes you think she is a good mom? I saw them together having fun. I must have seen them last month while I was visiting you. They were enjoying the small beach by the lake. The lake? You mean the one that's a couple of minutes away from here? Yeah, that one. I used to swim there as a child too, remember? I didn't see Carl with them, but the two of them were having fun and swimming in the water. Oh, well, was there anything odd about it? I mean, I hope she wasn't going to do anything silly in the water. Like what? She was just playing with Emma, as far as I could see. Am I supposed to think they are weird for taking a swim? Brianna is weird. She does a bunch of weird things all the time, so I thought I'd ask. There was nothing weird about them. But now that you mention it, I guess I didn't expect her to be so wild. What do you mean? What was she doing? She was dunking herself in the water many times, like she was dunking her entire body all the way to her head. It seemed a bit wild now that I think about it. She always struck me as the quiet, gentle kind, so I didn't think I'd see her so active in the water, even with her daughter. I see. Well, like I said, she is weird like that. So I am not surprised. It was a surprise for me, but in a good way. I mean, she was all in, you know? Emma seemed like she was having fun. So I bet she is a great mom to her daughter. How easy it must be for you to just say that. I still have a hard time seeing her that way. You don't understand what it's like for me, living with her. I am always so stressed because of her. I think it's impacting my health. I would be lucky if I survive another year. Don't be surprised if you ever get a call from the doctor. Come on, it can't be that bad. Anyway, I am sorry to hear that you are stressed. But Mom, maybe cut her some slack. She also must be extremely stressed raising a child while living with her husband's family. So try to be nice, for me, please. If you need, you can complain to me anytime. But you should try to build a good relationship with her. I have been trying ever since she joined this family. But yeah, sure, whatever. We will see how things go. Hi, Brianna. Can I ask you a quick question? I think I saw you at the lake today. Were you taking a swim by yourself? Hi, Jessie. Yes, I was at the lake by myself today. I didn't know you were in the area. Oh, okay, so it was you. I thought so, but you weren't with your daughter, so I thought it must have been someone else. Were you watching me? I was just passing by in my car, but I noticed you because I was going slow on that passage. So, yes, I guess I watched you a bit. Sorry, didn't mean to be a peeping Tom. That's all right, although I do feel a bit embarrassed. You shouldn't be. You seem like you're enjoying the swim. But hey, I never imagined you have a wild side to you. Were you exercising or something? It looked like you were dunking yourself in the water. I've seen you do the same with your daughter before. What were you doing? Oh, well, I was just washing my hair. Uh-huh.
You were washing your hair at the lake.
Yes. My daughter went out with your mother and brother today, so I figured I used this chance to finally wash my hair. I feel nice and clean now. I don't get to use too much shampoo at the lake, but it's not so bad once you get used to it. Better than not washing your hair at all.
Hold on. You are joking with me, right? Do you always go to the lake to wash your hair?
Yes, I do.
Does my mother and brother know about this? I mean, if you prefer it, I can't stop you. But why don't you just use the shower in the house?
Yes, your mother and brother knows about it. They are the ones who told me I can't use the shower at the house. That's why I've been going to the lake.
I beg your pardon. They told you that you can't shower at home? Why on earth would they say something like that to you?
Yes, they did. I think it started like 2 months ago. They banned me from using the shower because I wasn't doing any of the chores right, or at least not their way. I'm sure normally people would just go to the gym or something, but I'm not allowed to carry my own money, so I can't afford a membership. So they told me to wash myself in the lake.
Wait, sorry, I'm totally confused from the shock. My family is making you wash yourself in the lake because you are not doing chores their way. So you mean they are bullying you, right?
I guess that sounds about right.
Is it just my mom? Does Carl not say anything to defend you?
Your mom, mostly. She doesn't bully me too much around my daughter, thankfully. But the rest of the time, it goes on non-stop and Carl just watches.
Brianna, why are you so cool about it? You're not talking about what used to happen in the past. It's happening now, right? Why do you sound like you are okay about it?
I'm not, but what's the point of me fighting? I have been a full-time housemaker since I got married to Carl, so I don't have any financial independence. My parents are both passed away, so I can't ask them for help. So for me to stay with my daughter, I have no choice but to tolerate them.
You should have come to me. How could you let yourself be their slave? You don't enjoy being bullied, do you?
Of course not, but I have to prioritize my daughter. You see, Jessie, I come from a poor family. I want to make sure my daughter doesn't have to go through what I did. And if that means I need to sacrifice my dignity, then I am okay. Like I said, I have no way to support her on my own. She is much better off in the current environment. But I can't just leave her here. It would kill me if I ever get separated from Emma. So I have to suck it up and appreciate that she will at least have a chance, and that I can stay with her.
No way! Brianna, that is not right.
It can't be helped, and I can't blame anyone. No one forced me into this marriage. I chose to marry Carl myself, and I am choosing to put myself in this situation for my daughter, rather than running away.
Listen to me. This can't be happening to you. None of this should be accepted in any family. I will help you get out of this hell. Just leave it to me. You don't have to tolerate them bullying you anymore.
Oh, wow, Jessie, thank you. But what can you do? I don't see how I can get away from your mother or brother without sacrificing my daughter's future. And that is the last thing I want. Besides, you have your own family to take care of. You shouldn't waste any time for me.
It's not a waste of time. I will not let this slide. You are suffering because my mother and brother are morons. If I don't do anything after knowing what they've been doing to you, I would be just as bad as them. And most importantly, I care for you. I will spend as much time as I need to help you.
But, Jessie, I couldn't possibly ask you to. I would feel horrible if your relationship with them is ruined.
I already feel horrible that my family has mistreated you.
You have nothing to worry about. I will make sure the two of them pay for what they have done. But I will need a bit of time, so please hang tight just a bit longer. You and your daughter are going to be so much happier once you get out of that house. Oh my God. Jesse, I don't know what to say. I had lost all hope a while ago. I can't thank you enough. I will do as you say and act normal for the time being then. Hey, Mom. Guess what? I think you were right after all.
What? What was I right about?
About Brianna. You've told me many times about how you think she is weird. I think I see it now. She is kind of weird, isn't she?
Oh, Jessie, you finally understand. See, I told you so. She is so weird. What did she do to make you understand, though?
I'm sorry I never believed you. Okay, so what I saw was pretty funny. Remember I told you I saw her and her daughter swimming at the lake near our house?
Yes, the one near our house where you used to swim as a little girl, right? What about it?
Well, yesterday I saw her there again after I stopped by your place. But this time she was by herself, and she was doing that weird move I told you about. She was dunking herself in the water like a child. And it wasn't just once or twice. She kept doing it over and over again. It looked like she was pretending to be a mermaid or something, splashing her hair in and out of the water. A grown adult by herself at the lake, making funny moves. It was hilarious.
Oh, wow. Well, that is very weird of her indeed. Did you ask her about it?
About what? The dunk?
You know, like the reason why she was at the lake by herself? Are you going to clarify why she was dunking herself?
Of course not, Mom. What am I going to ask? Are you doing some kind of ritual in the water? I bet she would be so embarrassed. I could never ask. I wouldn't be able to keep a straight face.
So you really haven't asked? If you spoke to her, you should tell me now. You shouldn't lie to me.
What the hell, Mom? Why would I lie to you about something like this? Do you want me to ask her? Or is there something you want to tell me?
No, nothing. I was just wondering if you spoke to her about it, that's all. Oh, but darling, I am so glad you finally see it. Brianna is crazy.
Yes, Mom. I don't know why I didn't believe you before, but I do now. A decent person would not do anything like that. I was so embarrassed that my sister-in-law would do such a thing.
I couldn't agree more. She is such an embarrassment to all of us. She does crazy things like that all the time. It's unbelievable.
I totally see it now. To be honest, I didn't think she was crazy before, so I wasn't really listening to the episodes you've shared before. But now that I do, I want to know more about the crazy things she has done. I know you have so many stories about her, right?
Stories about her? Well, yes, I guess I do. But her stories are boring, don't you think? Are you sure you want to waste your precious time on her? There really isn't anything entertaining about that woman.
I feel like I've been fooled by her all along. I never saw the true side of her until now. But now I understand that the woman is crazy. So I thought maybe listening to your episodes again would help me prepare on how to communicate with her going forward. As a precaution, you know?
Yes, I see. Perhaps you should be aware of what she has done in the past. Well then, we should sit down and talk about everything. It should help you learn what to do when you come across her craziness.
Yes, let's do that. Poor Mom, you must be so stressed around her. You can tell me everything. I bet you are going to feel so much better after our talk. And it is going to be super helpful for me too, because I'll know what to expect the next time I see her.
The truth is, Jesse, I have a lot more episodes than I have told you. I never told you everything because you seem to be fond of her. And I didn't want to interfere between you and her, so I kept some of it to myself. But now that you are aware of her craziness, I can tell you everything. This is going to take a while, though. Can you make time sometime this weekend? We are going to need a couple of bottles for this. Of course I can make time. Why don't I come by your place tomorrow? I will bring lots of bottles so that you can give me every piece. Jesse, are you there? Do you have any idea where Brianna is? Has she come by your place? What's going on? Is everything all right? That bitch disappeared from the house with her daughter. She didn't tell us anything about leaving. She hasn't even finished her work today. The kitchen is a mess and she hasn't even touched the laundry. I am so mad at that woman. She won't get away with this. Gee, too bad, Mom. Too bad doesn't cut it. You know how crazy she is. We have to find her. She might do something crazy again and get in trouble with the police. If that ever happens, it would be such a dishonor to our family.
Well, if you are worried about her getting in trouble with the police, you don't have to. Because she is here with me.
What? She is?
Yep, with her daughter, of course.
Oh, my goodness. I am so glad they are with you. What is she doing there? She better not be bothering you.
She's not.
I can't believe she left unannounced. How disrespectful of her. She is going to need a serious punishment so she doesn't do it again.
She does?
Yes, of course she does. She needs to be disciplined. What should the punishment be? It has to be something she won't forget. She will learn that such disrespect will not be tolerated in my house. How do you think I should punish her?
I wonder what would be effective.
Think about something harsh, or else she would forget because she is dumb like that.
No, I can't think of any. Or shall I say, I won't think of any. Because she is not the one who is going to get punished. It's you. We've prepared really well for our counterattack. I can't wait to see you get what you deserve.
What are you talking about, Jesse? Why on earth would I get punished? And what do you mean, prepared? I am not following you.
We've been preparing with Brianna's lawyer to sue you and Carl. You should be receiving a petition against you in no time. I actually owe you thanks for the other day. The task to collect evidence was so easy because you couldn't keep your mouth shut. You basically confessed all of your sins. Everything was recorded. All of it.
Jesse, hold on a second. You are confusing me. Evidence? Recordings? What are you talking about?
Mom, have you forgotten? You told me everything about Brianna the other day. Remember? All the episodes you've had with her and how you punished her.
I told you because you wanted to hear it. Wait a minute. Did you trick me, Jesse? Did you make me talk on purpose?
Absolutely. Why else would I ever want to listen to your sick stories?
Why would you trick me, Jesse? Your own mother?
Brianna told me that she's been bathing in the lake for the past couple of months. Jesus, I still need a minute to let those words sink in. Anyway, I promised her that I would help her get away from you and Carl. So yes, Mom, FYI, I did ask her why she was in the lake. I was acting like I never asked her to get you to talk.
I'm still not following. Jesse, what are you trying to do? You said Brianna was weird too. You agreed with me.
I'm saying it was all an act, dummy. I was simply playing along. I pretended to agree with you so that you would tell me everything you have done to her. I can't believe you actually believed my horrible acting. I have never thought that Brianna is weird. In fact, she is a polite, smart woman who is so dedicated to her daughter. You want to talk about who is weird? Well, Mom, that would be you, who makes their daughter-in-law bathe in the lake. Where the hell did you even get that stupid idea?
What the hell, Jessie? How dare you mock your mother like that? You've got some nerve to disrespect me. You should support what I'm trying to do, which is to discipline her. Instead, you're going to go against me. So what are you going to do then, huh? Befriend that useless bitch for what? Are you going to become an enemy to your own mother and brother? We are your family.
And I have never been so ashamed to call you people my family. I am still in disbelief that my mother and brother would mistreat someone as nice as Brianna. What you have been doing to her is cruel and abusive. You must have no brain if you can't imagine her despair of having to live with monsters like you two. To be clear, I am damn serious about getting her out. I am on her side, and if that means I have to fight you and Carl, so be it.
Fight me and Carl? What is that supposed to mean? What are you going to do?
First of all, Brianna is divorcing Carl, of course, and she will be suing both of you on several accounts. You should start looking for a lawyer if you don't have one already. That's an advice for you, as a final courtesy.
Jessie, you're being too emotional about all this. She can't sue us. What's a recording of me telling this story going to do?
You think that's all we have on you? Think again. My recording might be a one-way conversation, but Brianna has more recordings to support it. She has audio of you and Carl actually saying horrible things to her. She also has multiple screenshots of when you have sent her disgusting messages.
Brianna was recording our conversations? When? Where? That bitch!
Oh, now you are worried, aren't you? You must have a couple of scenes in your mind that you know could get you in serious trouble. Well, you should be worried indeed, Mom. We have pretty good ones to support our case. Do you understand the position you are in now? We have tons of evidence and material, whereas you have none. You and Carl have already lost.
Don't get too excited just yet, young lady. I don't think you and Brianna understand the position you are in.
How so?
Let's say you sue us and win. Brianna will get some money from us, but it will be a one-off payment that won't support her for much longer. She won't have a house to live in. And with a child, how the hell is she going to survive without Carl? I can easily imagine her begging Carl to take her back. She can't do anything without him. So, you see, nothing good is going to come out of a divorce or a lawsuit. Stop trying to look smart, both of you.
Oh, but we are much smarter than you, because everything is already arranged for them, such as the house you are living in now. You are going to have to start packing because Brianna and her daughter are going to live there without you or Carl.
Very funny, Jessie. I think you have lost your mind. This is my house. There is no way I will allow her to take over my property.
Incorrect. That is not your property. It belongs to Grandma. She is the sole owner of that house and entire property. And if she wants to kick you out, she can very much do so. And let me tell you, Grandma knows the whole story, and she is furious. She has agreed to rent the house to Brianna for practically free. She said that this is the least she can do to make up for how Brianna has been treated.
No, that can't be true. What have you done, Jessie? This is going to be their home? I am getting kicked out?
Yep, Grandma and I are also going to help them get by until Brianna finds a job. And when she does, I will look after her daughter whenever they need. So now that you know the plan, please begin to pack your belongings because you two are nothing but a nuisance to everyone else.
Jessie, darling, you are my daughter. I have been through unimaginable pain to bring you into this world.
Perhaps so.
Surely you won't betray your beloved mother. If she is in need of help, you should most definitely help her, as a good child, right? So please, help me. Hell no! You and Carl have gone too far, but you are not even sorry about it, are you? I have never been so embarrassed and so ashamed that my own family would bully someone. I disown you and Carl. I don't want to have anything to do with you anymore, so I will not help you, no matter what. You and Carl are going to have to help yourselves. Come on, don't be a stranger. If what you are saying is true, I'm going to get kicked out of this house. You are actually okay with that? How are we going to survive without a roof? Would you let your own mother become homeless? Oh, Mom, you'll be fine. Just go find a tent or something. And Brianna told me that there are quite a lot of fish these days, so you won't have any trouble finding food. You should be glad it's not wintertime. Yet. Fish? What fish? What are you talking about? It's not a good time to be joking around. I'm not joking, Mom. You told Brianna to go wash herself in the lake. You suggested it because you thought that wasn't such a bad idea, right? So why don't you try the lake too? Go see if you can live by the water. Have fun out there with Carl, Mom. I'm sure surviving won't be so difficult since the two of you have each other. I can't wait to see you in court. I hope the punishment will be something harsh. Or else you'll forget because you are dumb like that. Brianna filed for divorce immediately after. She used every piece of evidence we collected together and sued Carl and my mother on multiple accounts, including abusive behavior. The court saw the toxic environment Brianna and her daughter had been in and ruled in their favor fairly quickly. Brianna won a satisfying amount of money from them, as well as child support that helped them get by for a while. As previously warned, my furious grandmother kicked the two nutheads out of the house so that Brianna and her daughter could live there under a minimum fee. I have no idea where the two of them are now, but I am fine keeping that a mystery for the rest of my life. Brianna, being the smart woman that she has always been, quickly found a job and now works full-time. As a single mother, she sometimes has difficulty balancing between work and her time with Emma, but she works very hard to support her daughter. Since the incident, Brianna and I have established a very tight bond, and now look after each other's children whenever necessary. Now that Brianna and Carl are divorced, we may not be family on legal terms anymore, but I will always think of her as my sister, and will continue to do anything possible for them to stay happy.
Thank you for watching. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel.